Hello. I'm gonna make another one because I have a couple different morning yoga ones that I do, and now I kind of just do them all so I can give you like a couple different ones here. So this one also starts out in one of my favorites. It's called Child's Pose. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with your knees open and your feet kind of together. And then again, you're gonna like hinge at the hips here, and then you're gonna go down like that, and try to make the back of your thighs touch your heels, just kind of putting that weight towards the back, and you should feel a little tiny stretch in your hips and towards your lower back. You can kind of like push back with your hands to get that little stretch. But again, this is a restful pose, so then you're going to come up and you're going to go into what's called the cow pose, and you're just going to arch your back so it looks like you're going to put your knees under your hips and your shoulders over your hands, and you're going to tuck in starting with your tailbone and then your head. And kind of engage your abs. And then slowly start again with your tailbone and roll it out. And then the last thing you're going to do is pick up your head and open up your chest again and engage your abs again. And this one's called cat pose. And then really ideally you'll do this about 3 times. So for this one I usually only do like 3 breaths. And then you can kind of feel it out, usually like going from pose to pose. You either kind of feel out whether you like to exhale or inhale from each pose. I usually like to exhale. Okay. And then from here we can do probably like a warrior pose. We could do warrior 1, where you're gonna keep your whatever foot you decide to go with first, you keep it straight back. And then you're gonna take kind of a wide stance, like pretty much as wide as you can get it. And then you're gonna do like a lunge and try to keep your back foot flat and just try to get this knee to a 90-degree angle, but try to keep your weight centered here. So it's gonna look more like this, you know, like you're trying to keep your hips really square with it. then come up and put your other foot back, keeping that straight and that heel on the floor. And then go down into that lunge again. You gotta make sure just to keep your back foot straight as you can so that you can feel it. Should be like a stretch in this calf here, and then also a stretch in this thigh. Okay, and then we're gonna turn like this, and you keep your back foot turned, pivoted here, but then you're gonna take this foot and point it straight. And this one again, you're gonna wanna take a really wide stance, and then your arms are gonna be out like this, and you're gonna keep this the back leg straight, and then you're gonna try to keep your hips as straight as possible, and you're gonna bend forward with that knee. I know you can't see my upper body, but here, let me see if I can get back a little bit further. So, there we go. Okay. And then you're gonna lunge forward here like this, and keep your hands outstretched and look out over your fingertips. And that stretch should be right here in this thigh. Try to keep that knee as straight as possible. Keep your hips as straight as possible. Keeping your weight really centered. And then come out of it. And then we're gonna pivot that one and put this one straight. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing. And again, just trying to bend this front leg like at a 90-degree angle is what you're trying to get. And then come up, and then we're gonna do a yoga squat. So this one's pretty simple. Just keep your feet kind of shoulder width apart, and you're gonna point your toes out just a little bit, and then you're gonna go down into a really low squat. Trying to keep your back as straight as possible. I sometimes put my elbows here and kind of push back with on my knees to create more of a stretch here. And then from here, we're just gonna come out of that. And then put your whatever foot you want to do first, and you're gonna tuck it into the inside of your knee. And then I usually start off, doesn't really matter, but you can start off with a flex or point. And then you're just gonna go up and over, and try to keep your back as straight as possible. Don't like come down. Try to keep your back and keep your body like up over your leg, because that's gonna get the best stretch for you. So and keep this knee flat, keep it flexed, and then point. And you should really feel this in your hamstring, up underneath your knee, below your, like under your thigh. And then you can come out of that. And then just do a switch. And point. Okay. And then you're gonna do a butterfly pose, and this one's usually like the last pose. And then you're just gonna try to get your, I mean, you know how this pose works. Just gonna try to get your knees as close to the ground as possible. And then you're just gonna lower yourself down. And for this one, again, you're gonna try to keep your back as straight as possible. With this one, it's a little bit harder, but this is one of the ones that I kind of like to hold for a while. And then just come out of it whenever you're ready.